Alright, yo, what is up? Making this video, I guess, to like share some of the techniques that I've like picked up while trying to learn bass guitar. Some of these I haven't heard, some of these you may have heard. I guess you'll be the judge. But anyways, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Alright, so step number one is just to start playing bass. Doesn't matter your age, how old you are, how young you are, whether you're like 50, 60, 80, whatever, doesn't matter. Just pick up a bass, any bass you can get, and just like start playing. Step two, another tool that I use is a tool called like Time Stretch. I mean, there's other ways you can achieve the same thing in like Premiere or like through different like music programs, but this I guess is the easiest way because it's just like through your web browser. But what this does is you can pull in a song off of your desktop, and then you can like loop different sections. You can play it at like different speeds, manipulate it, and all kind of like stuff like that. So I think it's like really useful. So like if I'm trying to like, there's a super like hard part of the song that I'm trying to like learn, I'll just put it on loop, you know, slow it down, and then like keep practicing it. A similar tool is like I think it's a website called like YouTube Looper, something like that. But it does kind of the same thing, but just you can just drop in a YouTube link into the websites, and then you can like loop different sections of the video. You know, super helpful tool to just be able to like focus on parts and then just like play it without having to like click the stop button and do that whole thing. You can just sort of like stay in the zone. Step three would be to like practice. You know, make sure that you're like playing somewhat consistently. Maybe it's not every day, but you just have to like keep in that routine of like practicing. One thing that I like to do is I like to keep my bass like pretty close to my bed, so that way, you know, I'll see it while I'm like chilling and be like, yo, sounds like a good time. I could like play the bass. The bass is looking like really nice, you know. So pick it up, start playing. You know, it's also helpful to like, if you can. I mean, any bass is good, but like if you can get a bass that you like the look of and you like the aesthetic of, then that's like also helpful, because if you like the way it looks, you'll wanna, you know, play it. You know, I think I got this bass because I saw other people playing this brand of bass, and I just thought they looked awesome, and I just, you know, picked it up. And then when I was finally able to get one, this wasn't my first bass. My first one was like a Squier Bronco, and then eventually I saved up enough and got this one, and my practice hours increased dramatically. So step four, I listen to a lot of obscure music that may not always have the sheets available, and I kind of stumbled upon this problem when like trying to learn like other instruments. Like you may hear a song, but then you have to either like learn it by ear or try to like maybe hope that the sheets exist online. But today, I guess you have like a website like Fiverr or something where you can just send somebody a song and then they'll, you know, transcribe it to like bass, which has been awesome. I probably do like 95% of my songs that's how I like learn them. And another cool part about the Fiverr is that whenever they send the sheet music, it'll also come with like an isolated like bass track. So then you can hear just the bass in the song to really kind of like zone in on the nuances. You know, sometimes I'll even take it a step further and put that bass track over the actual song and just like at a higher volume. So that way whenever I'm like listening to it, I can really hear the groove of the bass. So step five, another thing I like to do is like, say, you know, I'm having those like bed jam sessions, I guess, is I'll just like play it without an amp. And I know a lot of people don't always like do this, but I kind of like to do this because sometimes I feel like playing with like an amp is a little bit like more forgiving than just playing it sort of like acoustically. And whenever I'm playing it like acoustically, it's easier to hear things that don't quite like sound right, you know? Like whenever I'm like doing a slide or something, I may like hear like, oh, I didn't really, there was a little bit of fuzz in there or something. So I just like to be able to like play it clean acoustically. And it's also, I guess, fun for my neighbors, you know? And I also don't really like wearing headphones all the time, so I just like to just play it without plugged in anything. And so this brings me to the next step. Another way, which goes completely opposite of what I just mentioned, would be to like try to like record yourself. Whenever you know that you're gonna record something, at least for me, I practice it like more, and it like helps like have like a goal of like, okay, I'm learning this song so I can like record it and make a video on it. And another added bonus is that whenever you actually do record it, you may realize like how that you don't have the song down as good as you think that you did. So like sometimes I'll like go to record it, I'll be like playing it in practice, and be like, all right, I got this, and then I'll go to like record it, and while I'm recording it, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't got this. It's a lot different, you know, playing standing up versus like sitting down or something like that. And another thing that the recording also does is you can play it back for yourself like at a later time. So in the moment it might sound good, but then like later when you're listening to it on a fresh ear, you may notice a whole bunch of like, maybe not a whole bunch, but like some mistakes that you made that could have been like cleaned up. And another thing that recording also does is you can sort of like catalog your progress. You'd be like, okay, I recorded this song like a year ago, and then this song that I'm working on now, I can tell that I've improved, hopefully. So step 7, I do a lot of other things aside from playing bass, but in order to still be productive at bass while doing other things, I'll sometimes like listen to the song that it is that I like want to like be like learning. So you know, I may be like at work or something, and I'll just be like listening to the song over and over and over again that I'm like trying to like learn. And I find that like that's super helpful to like really sort of ingrain it into your like memory of like what you're trying to like learn. So whenever you play it, it's kind of like you're like playing, you know, the melody, so you don't have to rely on the sheets as much. Okay, step 8 is kind of a given, but learning things like technique and music theory are also like really helpful. And with things like YouTube, you can really be able to like learn stuff that you couldn't have learned before without taking lessons. And now I think lessons can also be super helpful. I haven't had a chance to take lessons yet, but it's something that I really want to do, just to be able to have that like sort of like one-on-one time with somebody, be like, okay, you're holding your hand wrong whenever you do this, or like this is how you do this specific thing. You can actually get like a physical demonstration. So technique, theory, you know, lessons, all that stuff can really help you improve your process. Step number 9, learn other instruments aside from bass. You know, before I played bass, I played a bit of piano, and a lot of those skills that I've learned and just kind of, I guess, like, you know, things where it's like, okay, like practice schedule, like, you know, different like skills and stuff like that can sort of like transfer over to bass, like some of that knowledge, you know. And it's not the same for every instrument, you know, obviously, but you'll learn that there are a lot of similarities that will help you in your learning process. Step number 10, probably the most important step, but it's just to like keep playing, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter if you take like a couple days, 3 days, a week, even a month. You better not take a month. But just to pick it up again and just to keep playing, you know? Because how are you going to get better if you don't play? And make sure you're having fun whenever you are playing. You know, I mean, there's going to be some times where maybe you don't want to play, but you know that you should play just to like keep your skills sharp. But just make sure that the fun day does come back around and that you actually like are enjoying the instrument, you know. Like, the bass is an awesome instrument, and if it's not for you, it's not for you, but I hope that it is, and if it is, then you should definitely keep playing it. Anyways, those are just like some of the tips that I learned. I can do another video, you know, jumping in like some other things that I've like picked up along the way, but just let me know if you want to see it and maybe we can make that happen. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you later. Until next time, peace.